What's going on, everyone? This is Eldrin here, and yeah, I haven't been posting for a long time on this channel. Actually, if I think about it, I haven't posted anything in about 4 years, which is kind of ridiculous, but life kind of got in the way, all that jazz. But the point is, and the reason why this video is being made, is I have some exciting news that I want to put out there and want to share about this game project. So, to anyone who doesn't know, I have started work on a 3D platformer game about 4 years ago, maybe a bit more. And I have made one really old update video on the progress of the game, kind of like just a devlog, but I wasn't even talking, it was just some video footage of the game's state. Now, that was 4 years ago, and the project was kind of on hold, as did everything else. But recently, I have started to pick this project up, facelift it, basically rework almost everything about it. And the reason why I make this video is I just want to share that it is officially back in development for me. Indie game solo project. But I'm back on developing this, and I have today some things to show you, which is I'm going to basically show you where the movement system specifically of the game is right now, the state that it's in, and what I'm planning to do in the future. I'm going to run through what you see in front of you right now is a playtest level, kind of like a tutorial. You don't have to worry about any of the text or everything. I'll just walk you through it and explain things on the fly as I'm going, and just basically demonstrate everything that is currently in the game in terms of movement. Now, just a word about the game itself. If you've played stuff like Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, those kind of platforming games that are kind of like themed level based, so the game is segmented into multiple levels, or maybe Jak and Daxter, the technological marvel of open world, is not the best example. But Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, very much. You enter portals, you go platforming levels, you jump, you glide, you do all kinds of moves, and then you collect things. Maybe there's an objective or a mission on the level. You do that. The details are, of course, all subject to change and don't really matter right now. What matters right now is the very core of the gameplay, which is character movement, controls, and making them feel good, making the moveset varied and interesting. And so basically, long story short, that's what I've been working on for the past few months, because I finally managed to find some time to get back on this project, and I'm real excited about this. And now that I work full-time in the game industry on a studio, in a studio that develops games, I have gained even more appreciation and experience on game making, and I really do feel like now I have the tools, the knowledge to see this project through to the end and set it up in a much better way than I did 4 years ago. So, without further ado, let me just jump into this and jump into the gameplay and walk you through this level. So, you have some basic collectibles here, nothing too fancy, you just go near them and you collect them. And there's a counter on the bottom right corner that was really just for the playtest, it's not really important. So I have a jump as you would expect, and if you tap it, you do a short hop. If you hold it, you jump a little higher, so just to compare them, short hop, hold it, is higher. Of course, this also applies to distance, so if you hold, you get more airtime and can jump further. Very basic stuff, part of basically every platformer ever, so I have that too. So here you can just try out, get a feel for jumping and stuff. Here's a kind of a narrower section to, be a little more practice on precise controls and walking over stuff. Here you can just really mess with jump distances and whatnot. I'm not going to bother collecting everything, so don't worry. And here we have sprint. So if I hold the sprint button, I do this placeholder, tilt the character forward, and I move faster thing. So obviously, as I said, you move faster and you can jump further because sprint carries that speed into your jump. So that's it. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. So I have a slide which is tied to a crouch mechanic. It's the same button. If you stand in place, you crouch. Don't get scared by how this is going to look. This is what crouch is for now. Just don't worry about it. So if you crouch, you know, you can do a high jump. More on that later. But if you start crouching while you're moving, then you slide. Very intuitive, very simple. And slide interacts with kind of terrain you're on, mostly the slopes. So if you slide downhill, you build up speed. If you slide uphill, you lose speed. Very basic, kind of like a fake physics kind of thing. Very much fine-tunable. So all of this can change, of course, like how much speed you build up, how slow you decelerate, accelerate, etc. You can also jump, as you can see, while sliding. So I can just slide off this ramp, jump over the pits, and continue sliding. As long as I hold the slide button, when I land, I will just continue my slide. So that makes it very comfortable. I just hold the button, press jump once, press jump twice. Don't have to do anything else. Very comfortable. You can also steer it, so you can, you know, kind of jump over, hop over things that are in a sequence. So that's kind of fun, and you can practice here, you know, how turning in slide feels. Now I also do have some wall interactions, so I have an average wall, the usual wall grab / wall latch thing. If you jump onto a wall, you can wall kick away. So there's a short duration while you stick to the wall, and then if you press jump, you can jump away from it and grab a bit more height. So this works anywhere on any wall. So, you know, that's kind of a cool thing to grab some distance. Now, you also have ledge grab mechanics. This one also doesn't have animation yet, but you basically automatically grab onto ledges and you can drop down with the crouch button, or you can jump up with the jump button. Very simple. And you can grab anything anywhere. So any ledge that is like a sharp ledge, you can just grab them, no problem. Also, you can, you know, climb sort of these kind of like a ladder staircase thing. You can go up and down. You can experiment with that. And here's the high jump that I mentioned earlier. If you crouch and then jump, you do a higher jump. Now you can of course combine this with all like the wall grab, wall latch, wall kick thing, for example, and this is where you start to see that different movement options can tie into each other. So I high jump, wall latch, kick away from the wall, and then I can get up here without ever needing to grab the ledge. So, you know, options for everyone. The next move here is the bash or slam. It's a ground pound kind of thing. So if you jump in the air and you press the button for it, you do this short hover and then you're gonna bash down. This is how it looks for now because I needed a, you know, a distinguished animation so you know it's happening. So this is what it looks like right now. Now this kind of bash can activate switches, and they also collect everything within like a blast radius. So it's also a convenient tool to collect things if you don't want to go around and pick up, you know, collectibles one by one. You can just bash, be on your way, and they will be, you know, sucked towards you. That's kind of convenient. Now, the next thing that bash has is if you press jump exactly as you land, you bounce back up. And this is equivalent to a high jump. So same exact height. Which means if you know, try to go fast and whoops, if you try to go fast and go towards a wall, you don't have to like crouch down and high jump. You can always just run towards a wall, bash, and be immediately on top. And you can keep your momentum. And this works anywhere. So, you know, another additional tool for some extra height. Now here's just a little practice section, so you can practice this kind of chain bounce thing. You can press all the buttons, which is immensely fun and satisfying. And then we approach this, which is the tutorial section for just comboing these moves together. So if you slide and then you jump out of a slide and then you start a bash or slam, same thing, you can cover some really good distance. And if you combo that with a bounce up when you land, you can also just get on top of this. Very convenient. And when you start chaining these together into these combos, that's where I think the fun of this game is. And this is what I really want to like fine tune and make sure this is fun, because this will be the core of the gameplay. You're going to be freestyling your way through levels and obstacles, and I want it to be fun, and I want you to always be moving and keep all your momentum and find clever ways to even skip a lot of sections that normally you couldn't, but if you're smart or skilled with your moveset, you can absolutely cut things. Maybe there's gonna be time trials or stuff like that. And I really want to reward players for skilled execution, because that's where most of the fun is. So the last move here, just to continue on, is while I'm in this spinning state on the slam, I can cancel it and transfer it into a forward dash. So I do this, and I can basically do an air dash out of it instead. Now, this, of course, is a good tool for extra height, but it is also a good tool to redirect the character. So if you're about to fall off a cliff, and you're like, oh crap, I need to turn around 180 degrees and go the other way, you can use this to correct yourself. Which is also cool, because you can go around walls and stuff. You can use this with the slide jump and grab some great distances, and you can avoid obstacles, find secrets, you know, whatever, million possibilities. And this last section of the tutorial is basically just showing you that whenever you dash out of that spinning thing, your spinning thing resets, so you can do it again. So I start a slam, dash out of it, and start another slam. So it resets it only once per jump, but you can use this to even further, you know, stretch how far you can go and how much distance or height you can make with this. So you can slide jump, start spinning, do this, interrupt it, slam again. Now, this, if you really practice the timing, can get you insane distances, way more than, you know, the tutorial says. You can really min-max this and practice. And of course, if you just, you know, dash out of that, you can grab ledges and climb even higher, because a normal high jump would not clear that. But, you know, a high jump, this should be enough. And if you don't make it, well, you can tell that you can even use and combine it with a wall kick. So you can climb really high. And that's kind of the end of the playtest section. So just to showcase this, for example, all these chains, there's that little pillar, and you can actually make it up there. It looks very far. It looks very high. It looks kind of impossible to climb, but if you combine your moves smartly and use everything at your disposal, you can make it up there. And really, there is no one specific way. Like, I can also just grab the ledge, or I can start another slam right at the end to get a bit more extra height, but once you're in this slam mode, you can no longer grab ledges. So that's kind of the trade-off is, do you risk not making the ledge perfectly, not clearing it all the way, and then you can't grab it, and then you fall down? You know, you're going to get the hang of all of this, and that's where all the skill is going to come from in this game. Apologies, by the way, if you hear like sirens or whatever outside. It happens like every 15 minutes where I live, so it's you can't film a video without that happening. So just one sec, I'll close my window. Okay, so to continue from there, that's kind of the end of this whole playtest area. Now, to showcase one scenario where you can get a bit creative, for example, I have that platform you can see there with those pickups, and I have this very conveniently placed, very long slope with this stripe, and it's just begging you to slide down it, and then there's a button. It's begging you to just bash it, and would you look at that, if you bounce from that, you made it all the way up here. But of course that is far from being the only way to get up there, so players can get creative. They can use just the bottom of the pillar to ledge grab and go up here. There's plenty of ways to get to places in the game, and will be on, you know, actual levels that aren't test levels. But that is just to kind of illustrate that, yes, you will indeed be rewarded if you get creative with how you get up to places. And I want to encourage players to sequence break my game, basically. So, one more thing I want to show you is the water-based movement, because this was all the ground movement, but of course you can see the theme of the game. It's tropical islands, lots of water. Your character is kind of like a shark thing, even in this rudimentary low poly form. So water does play an important part of the moveset, and I'm going to show that in the next test level, which I'm going to just quickly swap over to. And here we are. This is the other test level. It looks a little bit more finished, but this is complete placeholder, don't worry. So this is actually the most ancient test level that I have, and this is where I've spent 90% of my time playtesting and developing this whole moveset thing. So yeah, this is history, this level. But anyway, the point I loaded this one is there's a lot more water-based obstacles, as you can see, and so I can demonstrate all of that much better here. So, in terms of water movement, what you have is a basic swim. So you drop into water and you can swim along the surface, no problem. You can jump out and, you know, very basic stuff. You can also slide onto water and enter what I call a skating state. So what skating is kind of like when you stand on a surfboard and you're getting tugged by like a motorboat or something. And so you can like surf on top of water as long as you have enough speed, you know, no issues there. And the thing with this is if you drop your speed, you will just fall into the water. And so you have to maintain your speed and then you can keep skating. And you can jump out of a skate mode, you can hop while in skate. So you can just kind of hop over obstacles like this, and you know, it's all very, it's kind of like a drift thing. It's almost like you're driving in this mode. And the last thing I have for water is just you can dive underwater and swim in 3D at any point. And if you press sprint while underwater, you start making these bubbles, which is just a placeholder asset for I have like an underwater boost right now. So if you swim all the way up to the surface and you're swimming fast enough, you do this very high jump like dolphins breaching the water. And it's just fun. I added it because it was fun. Plus, also you can, you know, get out of water. Like maybe there's that gray square in front. So I can just get on top of that if I'm fast enough. And, you know, very convenient way to get to a high ledge straight from the water, so you don't have to first climb out to land and then do your high jumps and stuff like that. You know, it all flows really naturally. And for example, there's also this cylinder which is quite high. And if I do that, you know, launching high up thing from the water, and I utilize a few of my other tools like an extra bash for height or an air dash or stuff like that, I can get on top of that no problem. So that looks very tall and unclimbable from down here, but it is, utilizing the water, it is actually very much climbable. So that was all about the moveset, and I have transported us over to this mysterious volcano realm. Now, the reason why I have loaded this level is to close this video off. I wanted to kind of showcase some actual gameplay of how you would play this game in an open, more freeform level, of how you would just go around, looking around, climbing things, finding things, you know, a bit more exploration and a bit less linear tutorials. So, you know, nothing special. This is also just a very crude blockout level, but, you know, there's a different mood here for sure. Now, ignoring all these random test assets at the very start, you got a little objective. This was also just for the playtest. Can you find all 10 crystals? So this is what they look like, and that's what the counter is for on the bottom right corner. So, you know, you would go around and you would start exploring, like, okay, so I have multiple paths to go. And what is this? Well, this is a shrine, which is basically a checkpoint. If you die, you respawn here. This is kind of just like anchoring your respawn position somewhere else. So let's go this way first. So you can, you know, just explore around. This is a jump pad. If anyone's wondering what this mysterious white square is it's really just a jump pad. It's kind of loud, apologies for that, but you know, it serves as a jump pad. And we got another shrine in case, you know, I'm very generous with these on the test level because, you know, people might not be used to the controls and they might fall into lava, which does kill you and respawn you. I think. You know what? Let's see. I wonder if I have... Yep, okay. Just have to retoggle all my debug stuff off every time. Yeah, so lava does kill you. Now, you know, we get up here and... Well, there's stuff on top of this. There's a crystal. Conveniently placed torch highlights that there's a little crevice. And again, you can go this way and get up from here. Or you could even go, if you're more adventurous, you can go this way. And from here, make it to like this secret thing. You know, this is all just basic level design things, like nothing groundbreaking here, but we have grabbed our second crystal. Okay. Just let me quickly make it up here, and in front of us is the next challenge. So we got this gap, which we can cross in many ways. Collect all these things around the ring. And go back. But there is a secret on top of that pillar. So that is quite high, so we need to be kind of smart about this. So let's see. Can I make it? Yes. Okay, I might activate this checkpoint again, so we respawn closer. And let us proceed. Just grabbing those. Now I can go both ways here, but I will now cheat and use my developer knowledge that if you go up here, there's another checkpoint, which is going to be a convenient respawn point. So, oh, and I also want to do this slide. This is so fun. You get very fast here. And I just love to do that every time. I'm sorry, I will have fun with my own game if I must, okay? So I can just bench, bounce, and climb these. I kind of fat fingered a few things, but we collected them all. And now I can go down or up. So let's say I want to go up first. Here's a... Let's call this a broken bridge, okay? This is like a game of abstraction of... This can be anything. What we make of this is it's a bridge, and whoop, I just glanced at another crystal, so this was a little secret on another path that I had a sightline to, because if we go in here, we will realize that we're back at the bottom of the slope. So if we would have went this way, and we would have gotten up here, we might easily have missed the gem. But if you're backtracking from the bridge area, you're going to glance at it and, you know, realize that it's there. And here's this little secret alcove. I can grab all of these, and I have another challenge to make it through there, but nothing too difficult. And would you look at that? Another hint that, whoop, where I've been before, I have actually missed something. So here I'll use and abuse the respawn system to save time. Go all the way back here, then death abuse on the lava, turn off my debug, and we continue. And with that, we have our 9th of the 10 crystals. So where could the last one be? Now I will not pretend that I don't know, okay? Because I know exactly where it is. And just to finish off the level, it is actually hidden down here below the checkpoint. It was here the whole time. And with that, we have collected all 10 crystals. Now I don't know, collecting crystals is not going to be the objective of a level, but if you are secret hunting, collectible hunting, then this might be what you could expect. Now of course I want like kind of a story and kind of like a main objective that ties all the levels together. But, you know, that is not relevant for this video. I just wanted to showcase more freeform levels. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked what you saw, or at least found it interesting. I'm really back at this game, and I'm back developing this, so I'm really excited to get more work done on this. And yeah, if you care to follow along this journey, feel to follow the channel and see any updates that I might post about anything really related to the project. So, you know, you're absolutely welcome to follow along. And thank you one more time for watching all of this. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one.